Hey y'all, what's up? It's Jamie, that's me here. Can we talk about Fani Willis and Nathan Wade? Yeah, the district attorney, Miss Fani Willis for Fulton County. All right, down there in Atlanta. I just want to chat about it briefly, not too long. I know bits and pieces. I have watched her full testimony, and I'm also in the middle of watching his. I don't know how many more minutes I have left um, on his. I think I got like 45 more minutes left on his testimony or whatnot. But basically, for the people that do not know exactly who these folks is, let me try my best to explain who the hell they are. Okay. So basically, Miss Fani Willis is the district attorney, as I said, of Fulton County down there in Atlanta. And she is responsible for like Young Thug being on trial with his Rico situation. Like she's been grabbing the boys up for Ricos, okay? And Donald Trump happens to be one of those people. She got him up grabbed him up along with a few of his colleagues, and basically wanting to prosecute them on a Rico case for them trying to steal the Georgia election. Now, y'all know when he lost, baby, he was over there on the phone with people telling folks, like, go find some more votes, go find some more votes. I need more votes, whatever the case is, all right? One thing about Trump, in my personal, he is willing to dispose of anybody. Okay, y'all go out there and do that favor for him all y'all want, and he will drop you off very quickly and not to be affiliated with you just again. Okay, after you don't put your neck out there on the line to do some shit for him. So, anywho, she pretty much prosecuted a few of them. Okay, or at least she brought charges against them, RICO charges. One of the men actually pled guilty, from my understanding. And this particular man, his attorney, and I can't think of the man's name, but his attorney wanted to have the case thrown out, overturned, whatever it was, because he found some damning evidence about Fani Willis and her potentially messing with the man, Nathan Wade, that she put over the entire case for the Trump situation. Okay. Um, Let me see what we have here. Um, Mr. Nathan Wade, just so y'all know, they're saying that Nathan Wade was hired to help in the prosecution of Trump and his 18 other co-defendants on charges related to alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Okay. So he was put in charge of that situation. So basically, one of those 18 co-defendants that, pretty much pled guilty, whatever he did, his attorney came back and found that there has been some type of relations between Nathan and Fani that could possibly result in conflict of interest in some type of situation, to where they want to get the case thrown out. Okay, to where she could possibly be benefiting from this because of her close relationship with Nathan Wade and all of this other stuff, right? So he comes out with that information. And mind y'all, in the midst of this, Nathan Wade is also dealing with, from my understanding, a divorce from his wife. So basically, Fani and Nathan been messing around, or whatever the case is, while this man has a wife. All right. So it's a bit messy. It's a bit messy. Or like this here. This is indeed messy. So what I hate about this situation is the fact that they are using, like, this is true politics. Like, girl, this is giving scandal. This is giving scandal, meaning Olivia Pope, the television show. It's giving The Oval, Tyler Perry. Like, girl, it is a political fucking mess, for sure, for sure. And honestly, whatever Fani and Nathan are doing is so not uncommon, in my personal, amongst politicians. It's just that these two decided that or at least more so Miss Fani, decided that she was going to try Trump. She was going to try Trump. Now, see, had she never tried Trump and just went on about her business or whatever the case was, they would have never tried to dig into her stuff. But because she's trying Trump. Not only are they trying to get her off the case, but honestly, they're trying to muddy up her career so much, to the point where she won't be able to move forward in this role in the future, and likely have a damaged reputation behind it as well. Okay, so it is definitely messy, and the crazy part is, more is going to fall on her, and I feel like she's going to lose more than Nathan would lose. Okay, because who's more in the headlines? Her. She has the higher position, so I definitely understand that. But I feel like if the roles were reversed and he hired her, I still feel like all eyes would be on her more than they would be on Nathan. It could be because he's a man, she's a woman, but also with this situation, not only is it that for me, but it's the title that she holds, and it's also her playing quote unquote mistress allegedly while this man was still married, regardless of what was happening in the marriage. Okay, um is giving that she was still seeing him while he was married. So girl, eventually they came out and they kind of pretty much admitted that they had some type of relationship or whatnot, and I think that the relationship is ongoing. Do they meet up and do they still date in the same capacity? I believe so, but that's just my assumption of what I think is going on. I believe that they are still seeing each other in that fashion. But anywho, girl, what else did I want to say about this case? Because it's just crazy. So these people are basically, they bringing her to court. She's in a hearing right now, and they're trying to decide or get the judge to decide, because it's not a trial, it's just a hearing. They just want to be heard. They want all the details to come out in front of the judge, and for the judge to make the decision whether to like disqualify her, remove her from the case, remove him from the case, or whatever. But what they have to know and understand is that even if these individuals are removed from this case, it does not necessarily mean that the case will not move forward. The case very well could still move forward. But the thing is, for them, I think it puts it in a position to where it's a reset. They have to start all over, kind of, as far as investigating this particular case with Trump. But then also it could potentially put a person that's in favor of Trump over the case. So even if the case were to start over and they put somebody else over the case and not Fani and Nathan, it could result in the case being dismissed as a whole, which is what they want ultimately. All right, that's what they want ultimately. I listened to a lot of testimony from her dad, which I wasn't necessarily sure as to why he was even called to be on the stand, to speak. I didn't really understand that. Maybe her attorneys brought him in. I wasn't quite sure who brought him in to speak on her behalf, but I was kind of like, okay, y'all are going too far. Like, honestly, I do feel like with this case, it's just a bunch of nosy ass people all in their damn business, and it's set to make it muddy and to mess up their reputation and to make them look dog ass bad. Now, granted, there is some behavior that they should not have been participating in, and that's something that came out Fani Willis' own mouth before I believe we even found out about this. I don't know if she was elected already, but she was talking about how, you shouldn't really be dating a colleague or whatever. Like, it's kind of unprofessional or whatever. But girl, the way people have been running these playbacks of different things Fani has said in interviews and stuff, girl, it's been a bit embarrassing because you spoke out against certain things only for you to be out here participating in those very things. And that's exactly what I expect from a politician, unfortunately. And she's not necessarily a politician, but she is the district attorney. So all of that is muddy water. And I kind of feel like, girl, I expect that from y'all to be telling us one thing, but behind closed doors, y'all over there doing something else. Do I give a damn? No, I don't. I really don't care about nothing these two individuals had going on, aside from the fact that I felt like she was messing around with this man while he had a wife. But according to him, his wife cheated on him first. This is what Nathan Wade was saying, girl, saying that the wife cheated on him first and he was going to divorce her ass. But they decided, you know what, for the sake of the kids, let's stay together. But once we get our last child in school, we filing for the divorce. But keep in mind, the marriage was technically over. They agreed, according to him, that, they could see other people. So Nathan, that's what Nathan says. It's just that the marriage wasn't over, but they were over and they chose not to get a divorce. But girl, from what it was looking like to me, the wife was still feeling away. Okay. I believe the wife tried to comfort Fani and tried to subpoena her into the divorce court hearing so that, she could pretty much force her to be honest and open about the fact that she was in a relationship with that man, and then trying to make it seem like Fani had a hand in their marriage breaking down. And Nathan and Fani was like, girl, don't try that. And I BITCH, I know you may not like me because I've been out here fraternizing or whatever with your man, girl. But don't be trying to come for me, girl. I'm the wrong one for you to come for. I ain't had anything to do with that. You messed up your own marriage according to this man, and you was out there cheating and stuff. This is what he said. Don't be trying to put this on me like I done sat up there and messed up y'all Okay, so that lady was trying to get Fanny in that courtroom, girl. Like that lady was on Fanny head and stuff. So it's been a whole lot of that's been going on. This is definitely some messy TV for sure. But I just hate that everything that's going on with Fani Willis and Nathan Wade is definitely distracting. And it's no longer about Trump and him trying to steal the election. It's more so about getting in these two people's business. And when did they start fucking? When they started having sex? Like that just was bothering me, the way that the one of those attorneys kept asking him those different, sexual questions about her. And I just kind of hate that. Like, if y'all know that they had a romantic relationship or they was in whatever relationship or whatever, or physical, like, why do y'all need to keep asking that? Like, I don't, it was just like, y'all in these people business too damn much for me. That's just how, like, just too damn much. So at this point, so when did y'all start having intercourse? Was this before 2022 or after 2023? Like, it was just really stupid as fuck. And it was just, I mean, I was just really annoyed by it. And then even the judge was like, okay, why are we asking it like worded a different way? Ask a different question. He was like, well, wording matters here, Your Honor. Wording matters here. Yeah, wording matters to you guys because you know that the right publication is going to pick that up and make that a headline. That is why it matters to y'all about the damn wording, child. Girl, them folks know they was over there pissing me off, and then they try to sit up there and play Fanny Daddy, you know what I'm saying, with the questions that they was asking and everything. But what they didn't know is that that man is an attorney himself and has a lot under his belt. Okay, got a whole documentary that they working on all about him. That man said he lived in South Africa for some time, but something ended up happening in South Africa to where he had to come back to the United States because he was planning on retiring there. He's worked with Nelson Mandela. Like, daddy is definitely somebody to brag the fuck about, period. Okay. It was interesting, her dad, they was trying to figure out whether she benefited financially from being on this case and stuff, right? They also was trying to find out whether or not she utilized any of the state's public funding or whatever to pay for these dates and these trips that she and Nathan were taking. But she's like, they was like, where you get the money from? Baby, let me tell y'all something. First of all, well, let me finish this and then I'm gonna tell y'all. So she was just like, listen, it came from my blood, sweat, and tears. Basically, it came from my work. So whatever jobs I work, that's the money that I utilize to go and have my leisure. Okay. That's just what it is. But let me tell y'all, Fanny got on that stand. And baby, as soon as she approached the stand, it was giving some, I ain't here to play with you bitches. And see, honestly, the judge was trying to decide on whether or not he even wanted her to even testify. But Fanny was already in the courtroom standing up like, baby, I've been waiting on this moment for a minute, a long periodical time. So let me in this bitch, okay? I heard you was looking for me. Here I go. Let me slide on the ice like the escapades. And itchy yaya with the marmalades. Like, girl, I'm in the building. Scoot over. Okay, so she slide on in there, sit on down, and you could tell she meant business from the moment her ass entered there. Okay, she meant business, and she started demanding certain paperwork and stuff. She's like, I'm not playing with these motherfuckers. I'm gonna be on their head today. Y'all want to sit up here and call me out and bring me to the front and cause a distraction? Okay, we're gonna talk about some things today, girl. She had to make sure she let them folks know, you think that I'm on trial when I'm not. The people that's on trial is the motherfuckers that tried to steal an election. So don't ever get it twisted with your line of questioning, Miss Ma'am, because this is a hearing, boo. This is not a trial. Be very careful. I honestly did not like how the attorneys that were, the opposing attorneys, I did not like how they were talking and asking questions to Nathan and Miss Whatchamacallit. It's like, why do y'all have so much? Why y'all so mad? Did they do something to y'all? I don't know. It was really weird. Like, they came off with an attitude, and I guess they did it, of course, to try and ruffle their feathers, to get them out of character or whatever, typical tactics that they may use in the courtroom. They used it on these two as well. But it was so damn annoying. But when I watched Fanny do her thing, I'll be honest and say some part of it for me, I was like, Fanny, no, girl, that's not how you supposed to, like, I'm not gonna say she did too much, but I didn't like some of her responses, right? And they were kind of, at times long-winded. But the more and more I watched her her testimony, I actually was like, I'm here for this shit. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people upset about it, but I was like, I love it. If you're gonna try to pin me to the cross, bitch, I'm gonna make sure that I give your ass the runaround before you could do it. But you're gonna have to chase me. So you want these answers? I'm not giving you shit directly. Y'all the ones that went and researched me to find out information about me, this and that. Y'all feel like y'all got all the answers, Sway, and you done brought me in this courtroom and you want me to answer these lies that y'all don't put out there about me and these different narratives y'all are allowing these different publications to spin about me. Well, guess what? Keep motherfucking spinning, because I'm not going to give you shit directly. Baby, every question they asked Fani did not really give a direct. It was very rarely, maybe 3% of the time, Fani may have given a direct answer. Aside from that, she took them around the fucking world, and I was here for it. But I also understood it as I continued to watch, because she wanted to make sure she gave context to the things that they were asking. It's one of those situations where you may take a sound bite. A lot of times, right? We'll take a sound bite and just only ride with that. So if anybody go back to the facts, you will hear this is the entire explanation for it. So she didn't want to just give you a sound bite ass answer. She's like, okay, but let me explain that. Can we get into it? You want to talk about it, baby? We want to talk? No. We're going to get into it now, because see, this right here is a motherfucking lie. Okay, that's y'all problem. You went down there and lied, baby. The way she was handling Miss Merchant, I love the way she was chewing her ass up. Okay, the way she was handling Miss Merchant. Because see, Miss Merchant, you messy as fuck. Because one of the partners, I forgot that man's name, he was a bald man. Oh, I can't remember this man's name. I thought he was like security, and maybe he is security at some point. Maybe he was security for Nathan Wade, or either he was an assistant or something for Nathan. But whatever it was, I cannot remember, because I feel like he was an attorney too. He wasn't an assistant. I mean, he wasn't a security, but I think he was like a partner or something. I think he could have been an attorney too. But either way, Miss Merchant tried to pull up some text messages, girl. Like, oh my God, this is what she texting the other dude that's a partner of Nathan's. Oh my God, can you believe that Nathan actually went out of town, or he did this and that with Fani, and he used government funds with that? Like, how stupid can he be? Did you hear that? And so the guy, she brought that up into conversation, I guess to make it known to everybody that the man on the stand was privy to details when it comes to Fani and Nathan. He was privy to the relationship or whatever, based on his response to her when she asked that. But baby, when the other attorney stood up, the people that's on the side of Fani and Nathan, they was like, objection. That don't sound like too much of nothing, girl. It's giving heavy on the gossip. That's what it sounds like. Two co-workers gossiping about some shit they don't know nothing about. And I was like, girl, this is just interesting right here, honey. Because that's exactly what it sounded like. Exactly what it sounded like. Miss Merchant got her ass up there like she got something to prove. She is gunning for a higher position. I feel like Miss Merchant gonna be the one trying to get that be the one over the Trump case, so she can get it thrown out or whatever the case is. Because Miss Merchant said she got something to prove, baby. She thinks she gonna end up being on Trump's campaign or something like that, honey. She think Trump personally gonna come down and praise her ass for her efforts of getting this lady off the case or whatever. But what I also appreciate was the fairness of the judge, in my opinion. I don't know how other people felt that watched, the testimony, because I saw the testimony of Fani's dad, the other black man that I told y'all about, that I think was another attorney himself, and then I'm in the middle of Nathan Wade's, okay? But I appreciate the fairness, it appeared to me, of the judge. If those attorneys were not making sense, he let them know they weren't making sense. If their questions didn't sound right, he let them know that does not sound right. When the other people, stood up, the people on behalf of Fani and them, when they stood up and they was like relevance and everything, objection, he listened. He also listened to what the other folks were saying too. So I feel like he was very fair in the courtroom, okay? But I feel like he was more in favor of Miss Fani. I personally felt, because if the other attorneys wasn't objecting, then he was over there stopping Miss Merchant and her people, because they wasn't making no damn sense. And I loved it. I'm like, okay, come on, attorney. All right. Now, I don't know, you might be just acting like this for the people, and then you turn around and may still kick her off the case or whatever. But some stuff, I appreciate him just being like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, she already answered it. Let's move on. I love when he kept saying it to Miss Merchant, because Miss Merchant was up there asking the same shit in different ways. And I'm like, girl, if you don't go to, she already answered that question. Oh, child, he's supposed to have me a little piece of stressed out. I'm like, this is a lot, you know. Now, granted, I do understand, as you know, a public official, there are certain behavior that you're just not supposed to exhibit. Period. You're not. And I think the water is definitely muddy when it comes to Fani. You know, Fani, you have definitely done some things that is given very much so politician like, which is, y'all know, y'all have rules you're supposed to abide by, but you're going to do the complete opposite. She ain't the first and she won't be the damn last, in my personal. And it's crazy because so many of them have done it and are currently doing it, and nobody has been brought to the front. Y'all only bringing her to the front because she's bold enough to try Trump. Period. And you know, a lot of people feel like, oh, she's carrying out the missions of the Democrats. Those were some of the comments I saw. Now they're taking her down through there. That's what she get. Like, it's just really crazy. And it just makes me think like, damn, one thing about America, we're going to always figure out a way to divide, girl. If it ain't by color, it's by politics, it's by church, child, it's by upper class, lower class, because the damn show ain't no middle class, like no more, child. It's always something we're going to find a reason to compare, contrast, and divide. It's a mess. But anywho, I'm trying to see what else may have happened with this particular situation. Yeah, I mean, it was just an interesting trial listening, you know, to that. Fani, you know, they were asking Fani something about Nathan, and she was like, I'm not about to emasculate a black man. I'm like, ooh, not finna emasculate a black man. I ain't gonna lie, some part of me was like, well, then what do you consider the men that you got locked up? Would you consider them black men too? Or what? Or did they cause whatever happened to them to themselves? Because if you say they caused whatever happened to them on their own to themselves, then that's the same thing with Nathan as well. You probably came out better and said, I'm not gonna sit up here and emasculate my friend in front of you. And a black man at that. You know, but either way, girl, it's whatever. You know, I'm still stick on your side a bit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still a slick bit on your side. And the reason why is because of these other white politicians, and just in general, these other politicians that's out here doing some of the same shit that you're doing, and ain't nobody caught that just yet. But like I said, I loved how she was handling herself on that thing, on the stand, because it's like, I'm not gonna give y'all no direct answers because I don't have to. Y'all trying to pin some and search for some shit that's not even there. Y'all already been feeding these damn lies to the public. So I'm gonna give you the runaround if you're trying to get what you think you're gonna get out of me. Period. So yeah, I ain't really minding. I'm like, girl, you are kind of wrong in a little bit of this, you know, because you said out your own mouth how, you know, you ain't supposed to be dealing with this person, dealing with that person on the job, and this, that, and the other, and whoop, whoop, whoop. You know the rules, you know the regulations. Because as soon as y'all start dating or whatever, I think y'all was supposed to make that public to, you know, the people. But y'all didn't, because that man was still married. So that wasn't going to look good either. You feel what I'm saying? So you was just stuck between a rock and a hard place, girl. Okay, and stuck in between that man legs. Like, that's what it was really giving. Just a piece, okay? But I want to get into this news clip real quick, like, because I feel like they're going to do a better job of explaining from beginning to end of everything that's been going on. So let's see if we could check this out real quick.
Tomorrow, former President Trump's election interference trial in Georgia will shift its focus to Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis. Trump and other defendants are alleging Willis and Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade's personal relationship has affected the case, and they're fighting to have the case dismissed and Willis disqualified. Willis, though, is pushing back. Trump's co-defendants have subpoenaed Willis and Wade, among other members of her team, to testify. ABC's investigative reporter and producer Olivia Rubin has the details on what this all means.
I'm the elected district attorney here.
Tonight, the Georgia prosecutor who charged Donald Trump is facing possible disqualification.
I don't care political party. They care about it. My only question is, why is it question me?
Trump and a number of his co-defendants for weeks have been calling for Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis to be removed and the indictment dismissed, all over allegations of misconduct.
The district attorney is totally compromised. The case has to be dropped.
It all centers around a relationship between Willis and Nathan Wade, a top prosecutor she hired to investigate the case.
Suffice it to say that they are salacious and scandalous in nature.
9 defendants have joined the effort, accusing Willis of profiting off the case through that relationship. Now a highly anticipated day in court for the judge to hear their evidence.
The state has admitted a relationship existed. And so what remains to be proven is the existence and extent of any financial benefit. Again, if there even was one.
Willis and her team have fought back against the claims.
The defense is not bringing you law. The defense is bringing you gossip.
As the judge suggested this week that disqualification may be possible if the defendants can prove their allegations.
Because I think it's possible that the facts alleged by the defendant could result in disqualification, I think an evidentiary hearing must occur to establish the record on those core allegations.
But he shot down other allegations, including questions raised about Wade's qualifications for the job.
In my mind, as long as a lawyer has a heartbeat and a bar card, that lawyer's appointment standing alone is a matter within the district attorney's discretion.
Willis and Wade are among the witnesses who may be called to take the stand during the televised hearing. The judge rebuffed their request to quash subpoenas for their testimony. Defendants allege Willis benefited from the arrangement, using some of the $650,000 paid to Wade as a means to pay for their own vacations.
She did receive a lot of benefit, a lot of financial benefit in the forms of different trips, plane tickets, hotel rooms, Ubers, dinners, things like that.
Willis and Wade in a court filing admitting to the personal relationship after weeks of speculation, but said it does not amount to a disqualifying conflict of interest. The office flatly denied Willis reaped a benefit from the money, saying in a court filing, "To be absolutely clear, the personal relationship between Special Prosecutor Wade and District Attorney Willis has never involved direct or indirect financial benefit to District Attorney Willis." Trump co-defendant Mike Roman, a former Trump campaign staffer who has spearheaded the disqualification effort, this week presenting new allegations of payments, claiming Wade allegedly paid for at least 5 trips for him and Willis. They include a 2022 trip to Aruba for nearly $4,000, a trip to Belize, that one costing nearly $3,000. Bank records released as part of Wade's divorce proceedings appear to show he paid for multiple flights for Willis, her name appearing on his credit card statement for flights to Miami and San Francisco. Willis submitting her own evidence of flights she allegedly paid for with her own personal funds. Wade has also asserted expenses between him and Willis were roughly divided equally, and that the relationship started after he was hired. But Roman's team claims they have a witness ready to testify that the relationship began before he was hired.
He has firsthand knowledge that this relationship predated that.
The DA's office sharply rebutting that, saying no witness will support that claim.
The evidence would be that the timeline that's being represented is either mistaken, if that's charitably, or simply fabricated.
One former Georgia prosecutor says getting the indictment thrown out is a long shot. And while a disqualifying conflict is still a very high bar, the judge has indicated it's possible.
I think we're a little closer to getting a disqualification. I mean, it'd be very surprising if he did disqualify Fani Willis. I think it's definitely uncharted.
In a criminal.
But even if Willis were removed, he says the case would still move forward.
I think that would delay the case dramatically. I think it kind of puts us back in limbo.
One lawyer who previously represented a defendant in this case says some damage may already be done.
If you are someone out there who wanted to see Donald Trump successfully prosecuted, I think this is the worst thing that could have ever happened, because I think the Fulton District Attorney's Office made what a lot of people would call an unforced error, and it's really going to have a significant impact.
Trump and 18 others were first charged in the case last summer in a racketeering indictment accusing them of conspiring to overturn Trump's loss in the state. Those charged include longtime Trump allies Rudy Giuliani and Mark Meadows. 4 of the 19 indicted have now entered into cooperation deals. Videos first obtained by ABC News show what those individuals might say about Trump and others when the case goes to trial.
Were you ever around when anyone told Donald Trump that he had lost the election?
Oh, yeah.
Willis has asked the court for an August 5th trial, just months before the 2024 presidential election, but no date has been set yet. While Trump's attorney is set to appear in court on Thursday, Trump will be in another courtroom in New York ahead of a separate criminal trial he faces there next month.
All right, so y'all just heard pretty much everything in the breakdown of what's been happening. There were a few things I just wanted to say. The first thing was Trump saying the case has been compromised. The district attorney has compromised the case, so it has to be dropped. No, not necessarily. And see, that's where he be killing me, where he be talking about fake news, but then you be giving half info. That's what be killing me. So then your people just eat it up and they just ride off of whatever you be talking about, and you don't even be giving all the details yourself. Okay. Also, they were trying to see about Fani Willis profiting from the case or whatever. I don't think that they necessarily proved that, trying to say that she's received some type of financial benefit from it, because she hired him as a contractor. And based on the money that, you know, based on her hiring him, the money that was used to pay him was also utilized to pay for different trips that they went on. And also, you know, he could have been using it as like a business expense or whatever the case was, right? Is where they want to say Fani, you know, received some benefit. But Fani, like, I ain't received no benefit, baby. Okay. I haven't received not damn piece of a benefit, because I always bring cash, and every single thing that we did, I paid that man back. And that's just on peace. So that's just what benefit did I get if I'm over there giving him all the money back? Right. And then she also said something like a man is not, because he said the only thing a woman can do for me is something. What she said, the man was like, only thing a woman can do for me is do something. She was like, no, a man is a companion. What she said, I gotta look this up because I really want to quote what she says. What she said, a companion or something like that. She says, I don't need anything from a man. A man is not a plan. A man is a companion. Okay, she said that they would have brutal arguments about the fact that she is his equal. And I'm sitting over here, I'll be real honest with y'all, because this is some of the stuff people ain't mentioning. Why the hell is you sitting over there arguing with a nigga that you gave a job to? Excuse me? What, like, I'm confused. So it shouldn't even been no conversation about no what the man said, like, only thing a woman can do for me is such and such. It shouldn't even be no arguments about who's the equal or not, when she has a position that's over you and she hired you. So who the hell and what the hell do you think you like? Girl, I'm tripping. It's me. It's always me, girl. Okay, so I'm like, girl, And then it was just different things that Fani mentioned, and I was like, Fani, you sat up here and continue to deal with this man, because Nathan Wade don't seem like that amazing of a fucking man. Okay. Girl, some part of me was like, I hope that he did pay for some of the trips, because I'm over here cringing at the fact that you was over there cashing out on these damn trips. Did you need a man that bad? Because the way Fani made herself appear in the damn courts was giving desperate. I said, girl, not you going all over the place with him and he ain't pay for shit. Not a goddamn thing, girl. It didn't have to be business funds, but damn, he ain't pay for that. Like, that's just, oh my God. Okay, girl. Whatever. That's how, you know what I'm saying? But I know you playing it up for the courts, because I feel like y'all are lying about that right there. Ain't gonna lie to you, girl. I feel like Nathan was over there cashing out just a piece. He just can't sit up there and, you know, incriminate himself up there on the stand. But that right there, girl, that just didn't make no sense to me, Haney. If that's what you saying. Oh, child, girl. I'm like, Fani, you sure you want to still deal with this man? Now they saying they ain't in a relationship and they really close friends. Nathan told me, some honey, we even closer after this situation that went down, child. Now, shout out to Miss Anna Cross, their attorney or representative. Miss Girl said what the defense is, bring it to the front, honey, or whoever those people are on that side, bring it to the front. She said they bringing gossip. That's what it's giving. I said, well, they is bringing gossip, and they're bringing distraction so that we ain't focused on what the case is really about. Period. Just like Miss Girl said, you seem to be confused. She says, you think I'm on trial when I'm not. Period. She says, these people are on trial for trying to steal this election in 2020. She said, I'm not on trial. No matter how hard you try to put me on trial, BITCH. Okay, so don't play with me. Do not play with me, girl. So that's what it was giving. I was here for that. Now they talked about him getting paid $600,000 or something like that. And see, this is what I need to understand for the people that, you know, are more into this situation, may know more about it than me. You know, I know y'all gonna tell me y'all thoughts anyway, because DJ how y'all is. But I'm like, if I work hard, that's why Fanny kept saying when it was like, how did you pay for this? Where did you get cash from and stuff? She was like, from my blood, sweat, and tears or whatever. Basically, from her work. She's paid for her work. So my thing is, if they're being paid for their work, why can't they go and do what they want to do with their money after they've been paid? Now, I do have a question about maybe the business card, like the business credit card or whatever. Was that a company's card? And Nathan was out there using that to fund the trips or whatever? Because I'm just, that's the part that has me a little confused, because I'm like, once I've been paid for my work, regardless of who the hell pay me, don't ask me what the fuck I do with my money. If I want to go spend 15 racks over here, that's what I'm going to do. Period. What is, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, after I've been paid. So I don't know if he was taking money directly from the business account or something like that. But that's what I was confused about. He also said that he has a private law firm as well. That's something that he ended up telling one of those male attorneys that was, you know, questioning him. He said, so when I spent money on some of these trips, you can't say that it came from my position with y'all, because I also have a private law firm as well that I still am actively a part of. So that money could have came from that. So it seems like he funneled things into one account. And if the conversation is about whether or not, or the hearing is about whether they should be disqualified because of financial gain or benefit of some sort, I personally feel like they have not met that. I do not feel like that burden of proof or whatever y'all call it in the courts, I don't feel like they have met that. So I don't necessarily see them being disqualified, you know, based on the true evidence. It's not really, I don't think that they've proven their case. However, because they're making it more gossipy and muddy and all of that, and making it look bad for the county, they will try to use that to leverage her getting out of her position, because this just is not a good look for the county as a whole. Even though we know what the truth is, we know this, we know that, and they didn't technically prove their case, we're still going to go ahead and just remove you guys, because this just isn't looking good and we don't want any more heat on us. Like, that's what I feel like the defense's angle really is, to muddy the waters. And a shout out to, you know, Anna Cross saying, girl, it's really giving gossip. The more y'all talk negatively about it, the more this dark cloud is going to reign over this courthouse or whatever in this county. So because of that, y'all might have to take them off the case, right? But hopefully that doesn't work. And if they do get them taken off the case, I hope they get somebody else that's even more aggressive than the both of them, that's still going to push forward with this Trump case, no matter how much y'all try to threaten that person or make them, you know, drop the case, dismiss it, whatever. Okay, so I hope they get somebody that's really gonna be on their necks. Okay. Fanny's dad also talked about how she had to move. She moved out the house that she was in and went and stayed in one of her friends' condos, but he stayed behind, you know. And she was like, well, I was in fear for my life. And they over there pretty much asking her questions like, well, if you was in so much fear for your life, why would you let your daddy stay? And the daddy was like, I stayed behind so I could look after the house. Basically, daddy giving, I got a shotgun for them other ones, period. Okay. And I feel like that's something any active dad would do. Now, granted, daddy did say he could barely see, honey, so he had to get a magnifying glass on top of the Coke bottle glasses he was already wearing, just so he could read some paper, right? So I understand that. So how was you really going to see the figures coming at you? But let me tell you, daddy said he stayed behind to look after the house. He made sure, you know, plants and things was watered, things was taken care of around the house. He didn't want to move or uproot and leave. So she said she was in fear for her life. So they like, if you were so in fear, you know, pretty much why you ain't take your daddy. But I also feel like what they was trying to set up their whole condo situation about, to me, was trying to make it seem like she utilized that condo to be able to go and have relations or do what she want to do with her boy toy, Mr. Nathan Wade. Like, it was really confusing, because I didn't really understand, why is y'all asking this lady about this? Like, why y'all asking her about this condo that she went to go stay in? They even brought her friend to the front. I believe the friend who condo she used for her to answer questions or whatever. So girl, it was just a whole lot of to me. Okay. But daddy was on point. Daddy was like, I always taught my daughter to save cash. Y'all want to know why? Because of y'all racist asses. That's why. Because when me and my family was over there at Harvard, Yeah, we was over there at Harvard. So y'all ain't think a brother like me could get to Harvard, huh? Yeah, I've been to Harvard, shouty. And when I was over there and I was trying to get food or whatever it was for me and my family, I had my credit cards. Yeah, credit cards that some of y'all don't even qualify for probably right now. American Express, this, that, and the other. They wouldn't take none of my cards. They wouldn't even take a damn traveler's check. You hear what I say? So I had $10 in my pocket. I was glad I had that because the only thing they was willing to take from me was cash. So because of that, I always taught my daughter to always have some motherfucking money on her. And that's period. Because you can't trust these mofos out here. And I'm sure her daddy also taught her to never, ever depend on no bitch. Okay? No bitnigga. Always have your own. Which is why that lady stayed loaded with some cash and kept thousands of dollars on her. Hello? Why they trying to tie so hard, to what she got going on. But let me tell you, I loved how she was answering the questions, honey, because it was giving prove it then. Y'all the ones that went and grabbed all these files. I'm gonna go all around the world before I give you a direct answer, because see, this is your case that you brought up, and I'm gonna make y'all prove it at every chance that you get, bitch. But that's it, honey. But listen, I just wanted to run my mouth real quick and get into the Fani story and Nathan Wade. I may not have covered everything because there's so many moving parts. And all of that. And I may have left out some stuff that they talked about in the hearing, but it is what it is. I'm sure y'all gonna talk about it down below, girl. Like I said, because that's just how y'all is, honey. But I am Jami, that's me. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Feel free to follow me over on Instagram and Twitter. Don't forget to like up the video, honey, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like Soldier Ray. Leading my people like quarterback. But I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. But drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they died of me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but you run no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my back.